Two big ideas that you and I talk about all the time. Hiring, like how do I go find these people and how do I bring them on and make them and help them become a part of our mission, to share that vision that we have, to want to go do the work the way we envision opportunity or where we think it lives. Then we think about how do we manage them to their potential as well. So why don't we talk about both those ideas a little bit, because I think they're interconnected and woven together, but they're discrete ideas. They're their own idea. So how do you think about hiring and what problems and opportunities exist there before we get into the management part of it?
Great, yeah, let's talk about hiring. I recently spent some time thinking about it and really trying to figure out, what are the keys that I can give someone who's just starting on this process of hiring, or maybe someone who's been doing this a long time but just not getting it right. And there is no silver bullet. Mm-hmm. There is no one thing that's going to,
everybody
unlock.
wishes there were.
Yeah,
Particularly in a tight labor market, right? Everyone's saying, if I could just do this, then that would happen. I mean, everyone says they can't find good techs. Well, there's a reason for it. Tight labor market's tough, so you got to find a way to solve that problem.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to there are four key things that I think people should be looking at when they're looking at hiring. And the first is to really do a good job of telling their story. So even if you're just an owner operator, you've never hired someone, you're an owner operator for a reason. So what was that reason? What made you go want to do it yourself? You thought you could do it better. You thought maybe you could do it with more integrity. You thought you had a skill that could benefit customers. So tell that story, because these days candidates have choices. You probably won't be their only job offer. Mm-hmm. So how do they choose you in the end? And part of that is just by sharing who you are. Where are you on your journey as a company? Why did you get into this in the first place? And sometimes you got to reach back and remember, because if you're out there looking to hire, you're probably frustrated. You're probably overworked. You probably are not sending out the signals necessarily all the time of like, this is the best place to work, because you're in that situation of really needing someone yesterday.
But you want that story to be real, authentic, motivating, like catalyzing for someone to come join your mission, right? Your view of the world that you want to, and the pursuits and the dreams that you have. You want them to become a part of that, so it has to be something that's real and that they'll have that same visceral response that you do.
Yeah, so that's the first, is to really connect with why you got into this in the first place, and then share that story. So let's say you were going to post a job online or post something down at the local trade school, if they've got a bulletin board. Don't just copy what the other guys are doing. I mean, be informed by that, like know how people are describing jobs, but then tell your story. People remember stories. The bullet points are nice, but like why? Why your company? So that's really the first thing.
Because you're selling, right?
You are, throughout the whole process.
And sales is built on a relationship more than the product, and it's built on storytelling. What people remember are the stories, your narrative of things. So that's super helpful. Okay, what else?
So then the second thing is to have a process, to have a hiring process.
Right.
And
which you are best in class at. And I'm an operator, and I love process, right? I love systems. You have the best hiring process that I've yet come across. And so where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, we built a replicable machine, to have stages and steps, and then to follow them through. But once you map them out, it does become easy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily create more techs in the world, but at least when you find one, you know that you've got a solid process, nothing's getting missed. No balls are getting dropped. If you tell someone you'll call them back on Wednesday, you call them back on Wednesday.
But to be clear, Mel, it's simple. Like, you're not talking about rocket science.
No.
You're talking about just a system that is deliberate, like I'm going to do this and this and this every time.
Right.
So give an example or a couple examples of how our process runs.
Yeah.
Might help other people.
So for one of our most common positions, we start with a phone